Hi, welcome to this channel, Skills Growth Future, where we cover topics on personal growth in terms of team engagement, leadership, motivation, and many others. I'm Janet Yung, and in today's episode, we'll be covering about how do you influence others, especially remotely and when working across countries in today's new normal. When we investigate this particular topic, how does one get motivated to do something? When we are investigating this on how should we influence and motivate others, we should look at it from the perspective of how does each of us get motivated to do something. So if we understand how others think, what is it that they will benefit from this action or thing that you would like them to do, what's in it for them, it will be easier to influence them. Therefore, we need to look at this from the other's perspective. How do they communicate? How do they get motivated? And what influences them? So it's then worthwhile to investigate it from the perspective of why do people do things the way they do? If we look at it, each of us process information differently, solve problems differently, communicate and motivate differently as well. If we want to influence others effectively, be it face-to-face, remotely, or even utilizing written communication over emails, it is then crucial for us to understand the approaches that people take. In fact, in one of the articles that I posted previously, someone commented, it would be great if we can understand people like an instruction manual. Precisely, if we do understand what makes people tick, how they process information, how they communicate and work approach, it will be a lot easier on us. So from an Asian personality profiling perspective, we look at how people approach things and why they do things the way they do in 5 different ways. The first is analysis. Now, when we look at a person who is an analysis approach, how do we know that this person is an analysis approach person? Number one, when they reply you or when they communicate with you, oftentimes they will usually be saying, let me think about it. Let me do some research on this. So if you have a team member who is an analysis-oriented person, you need to therefore give the person time to research information so that you can better influence them. It's almost impossible if you want that person to take an action or decision immediately. And if you are a leader, then giving the right kind of roles to this person would be crucial. The next approach that we would like to look at is that of the action-oriented approach person. Now, versus that of the analysis approach person, this action-oriented person will usually jump and take action almost immediately. So therefore, in a situation where you need to implement things fast, the action-oriented person would be great. Now, how do we influence an action-oriented person? Most times they are a little bit more impatient. Therefore, they are the quickest who would want to know what's in it for them. What are the pros and cons for a certain decision that they will need to take? So communicating it from this perspective will make it easier for you to influence and motivate them. The third kind of approach that we'll be looking at is that of a process-oriented person. Process, as the name suggests, means this person usually likes to do things one step at a time. So therefore, trying to influence this person by just throwing a new task to them without giving them proper guidelines, regulations or SOPs of what to do, there is a tendency that they will be a bit lost. Therefore, it is crucial that you provide guidelines so that they have a general guide on how they should be doing things. So that's how you will persuade and influence that of a process-oriented person. The fourth type is a people-oriented person. They are usually the kind who would want to ensure that the entire team is feeling comfortable, everyone is feeling motivated. So these will be the people that if you need to influence a bigger group to basically get them on your side so that they can help you influence a bigger team if they are convinced from the perspective. And most times they are motivated by how this entire project will improve team morale, teamwork, and how everyone will feel happier, more highly motivated in moving forward with this particular task. The last approach that we will be looking at is that of the idea-oriented person. They are usually someone who enjoy a lot more freedom in terms of giving them tasks on coming up with ideas and approaches to do. So in a situation where everybody is lost, or it's a brand new business development project, brand new market, brand new subject that you need to look at, I think an idea-oriented person would be more apt at taking this particular task rather than a process-oriented person. So that's basically the 5 approaches that I've covered. Number 1 is basically analysis. Number 2, action. 3, process. 4, people. And 5, idea. So when we are trying to influence others effectively by closely observing and watching how they usually interact, what kind of things they do, communicating from their perspective rather than yours would generally have a more effective rate in terms of influencing them to work together with you in the team. Thank you. And I've included the links to some of the articles as well as videos on the various different orientation for the Asian personality profiling system in the video description and in the article itself. So please do click on them so that you can understand the system a little bit more. Until the next time, thank you for taking time to watch this particular episode. I'm Janet Yong. See you the next time.